Hello! Today I am going to show you how to make a web. Webs help us to think about what we want to write about. Webs also help us to get our ideas down on paper before we start writing. We are going to use 3 words in our web today. The 3 words are beginning, middle, and end. Say those with me. Beginning, middle, end. Great. Let's begin. Let's think about a topic. You might write about what you did over the weekend, over a vacation, during the summer, or during a day at school. I've chosen to write about what I did over my weekend. You'll notice I've written what I did over my weekend in the middle of my paper. I've also drawn a bubble around it. Before I go on to the next step, I want you to think about a topic you want to write about. Remember, you can write about what you did over the weekend, like me, or you may choose to write about a vacation or a day at school. Press pause and write your topic now. When you're done, press play for the next direction. Excellent. So if you're ready for the next step, you have a topic sentence inside a bubble like my model, right here. We're going to use those 3 words we practiced earlier: beginning, middle, and end. Looking at my model, you'll notice I have the word beginning off to the side of my paper. This is my heading. I have also underlined it. I want you to write the word beginning off to the side of your paper. Then underline it like I did. Do that now. Press pause and write the word beginning. Underline it, and then press play for the next direction. Wonderful. Now I need you to think about something you did at the beginning of your event. I have written, at the beginning of my event, I stayed at school. On Friday, I stayed at school to plan, to grade papers, and to clean and organize. So first, I'm going to draw a bubble around my beginning. Then I'm going to include those details. I'm going to include that I cleaned, and organized, I'm going to draw a bubble around that detail. A second detail was I said I planned activities I'm going to draw a bubble around that detail. And then my third detail I said was I graded student work. When I tell you, I want you to press pause. Think about at least 2 details that you did at the beginning of your event. Write those down. Press pause now. All right. So I have included that on Friday I stayed here at school to clean and organize. I graded student work and planned activities. That is what I did at the beginning. Now I am going to think about something I did in the middle. This is something I did on Saturday. So first I am going to write the heading middle. You can do that with me. Write the word middle, underline it. If you need more time, press pause to write the word middle off to the side of your paper. Next, I'm going to think about something that I did during the middle part of my weekend. This would be on Saturday. So I'm going to include that detail. On Saturday, I visited with my parents. Then I'm going to draw a bubble around my heading, middle, and what I did during the middle part of my weekend. I want you to press pause now and write what you did during the middle part of your event. Great. So, going back to my topic, what I did over my weekend, I've included a beginning and a middle. Now I need to add details to my middle. All good writers include details. So I need to think about what I did when I went home to visit my parents. One thing I did was I visited my mom, and I visited with my dad. Because they live in two separate homes, those are two separate details. When I was with my mom, another detail is we played games. So I've written those details and drawn bubbles around them. Now I need to think of what I did when I was with my dad. We cooked dinner. I want you to think about at least two details you did at the middle of your event. Press pause and write the two details you did now. Excellent. So coming back, I'm looking at my topic, what I did over my weekend. At the beginning of my weekend, on Friday, I stayed at school. So I'm going to connect my topic to the beginning. Then in the middle, on Saturday, I went to visit with my parents. So I'm going to connect those two bubbles. Last, I need to think about something I did at the end of my weekend. So I'm going to write the word end off to the side of my paper and underline it. I want you to do that now. Write the word end off to the side of your paper and underline it. If you need more time, you can press pause. If not, we are ready for the next step. Next, I need to tell you what I did at the end of my weekend. On Sunday, so I'm going to include that detail. On Sunday, I cleaned my house. I'm going to draw a bubble around the heading, end, and around what I did at the end of my weekend. I want you to press pause and write what you did at the end of your event. Then, when you press play, we'll be ready to add the details. Excellent. So next, I need to think about the details of my end. What did I do when I cleaned my house? One thing I had to do was wash dishes. So I've included that detail inside a bubble. I also had to do laundry. So I washed my clothes. And then a third thing that I did when I cleaned was I swept floors. That's another detail I'm going to include in a bubble. I'm going to go back and add washed, can't forget my ending there, washed dishes. And then I may need to correct this. I did laundry. So you'll notice it's okay if you make mistakes. This is a way to get your ideas down on paper. A web is only to get your ideas down, so if you make a mistake, it's okay. You'll see plenty of examples. I can show you 2 examples right now of mistakes that I went back and corrected. So today, we made a web. I did my web on what I did over my weekend. I included the words beginning, middle, and end. You did the same. You included those 3 words. Then we went back and we added details to our beginning, middle, and end. One last thing before I go. I need to connect what I did at the end to my topic. So now all my bubbles connect. Great job today.